Hello everyone to JPL Talkies. Mystery chip has been revealed finally by FPL officials, and it will go by the name Assistant Manager chip. And this chip has been receiving a lot of hatred, or probably the reviews haven't been that good from the content creators. And to discuss everything about this mystery chip, Sushant joins me in along with our partners, Sports Potatoes, who basically are going to discuss about everything when it comes to chip, how it can be used, when it can be used, and whether it's a good chip or a bad chip, how much complications it is going to bring in. So to discuss everything, I welcome both of you, and let's begin this segment of ours.
Hi,
Hi Adi. So good to have you
Hi,
again.
Adi.
thank you.
We always feel like collaborating with Sports Potatoes and have these videos rolling. But considering everyone's timeline and everyone's bandwidth, it gets difficult. But luckily, we were able to collaborate again. And thank you for joining.
Thank you for inviting.
Yeah. So Sushant, your early views on this ship before I get with the introduction and everything gets rolled on.
I'm very excited about this chip. It allows us, if you are not in top 10, then it gives you a chance to catch the top 10. So I'm happy with this chip.
Okay. So, going by the name, it is going to be assistant manager chip. Basically, a new segment, a new tangent has been added by FPL officials here. It has certain drawbacks because it is taking funds from your own kitty. It is going to last only for 3 weeks. So, a lot of ranks are going to be impacted because of this. And to know more about it, Aditya is going to give in certain insights about.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you, Sushang bhai. So this chip is basically about having an extra person in your team, in your FPL team, and as Yash bhai mentioned that it will be consisting of your budget only. So like the screenshot you are seeing on your screen, we will be having an assistant manager added in your FPL app, and it will be shown in within the 15 member squad of yours, and it will take some amount to buy them, and that will be revealed shortly in the next slides. But yeah, so assistant manager will be part of your 15 member squad, and it will make your team a 16 member team.
Right.
So probably we can have
Yep.
slot controlling Bruno Fernandes and Kevin De Bruyne.
Correct. Finally, a manager can handle these big names, all of all of them at once.
Yes. And Aditya, if you could
Yep.
give us a view of how the point system is going to take place under this new chip.
Yes. So this chip basically comes into the picture from Game Week 24. So everyone who is planning to play this chip should be having a plan right after 23rd game week finishes, right? So this is a chip which comes in 24th game week. You can play any time after that, and this has to be played 3 consecutive game weeks. Like if you planning to play in 24th game week, then it will continue till 26th, 24, 25, 26th game week, and accordingly you will get some additional points, some bonus points, which we will be revealing in the next slide of ours.
So when it comes to
Yes,
points,
by
yeah, when basically it is going to be a straightforward thing. If the ranking part doesn't get included for now, but if you talk about a win, so a win is going to give you 6 points. If it's a draw, so that is going to provide you 3 points, and then there are certain extra points, certain brownie points have been given to the managers. So these include the goals scored by your team and whether your team is keeping clean sheet or not. If, for an example, if Liverpool goes on to keep a clean sheet against their opponents, so your manager is also going to get clean sheet points. If Salah goes on to score in that match, or probably Darwin Nunes out of nowhere scores a goal, so that also is going to provide your manager certain extra points apart from the points which he is already getting from the win. So coming to the next point, where when things get complicated, so I would like our data guy Sushant guide us through how things complicate when the ranks come into picture.
This is the prime reason why I love this chip because not that there, but because this is a time where you need to scratch your brain a little bit. Most of the times, it is commonly said that people would like to go for safe managers. When I say safe managers, it would either be a slot or Ateta. Not sure whether they would go for Pep looking at his current form right now, but he would be one of those. And for sure, Amorim would be there in the mix as well. But this is a very, very interesting chip or extra points which are up for grabs, but it is not going to be easy. It says if you pick a manager who faces a club ranked at least 5 places higher in the Premier League table at the start of that respective game week, then you could earn 10 points for a win and 5 points for a draw. So I'll just recap the previous slide which Yashaswa shared. Considering the same example, if Liverpool wins it 2-0 against its opponent, Liverpool will get 6 points for a win, 2 points for a clean sheet, and 2 points for 2 goals scored, which will give them 10 points. Now,
Right.
so this is the basic point system. Why there is extra point now? Let's consider Manchester United is facing Nottingham Forest at some point of the season, and Manchester United is ranked at somewhere around 12 or 13, and Nottingham Forest are currently fifth in the table, so they are more than 5 places above them. If Manchester United goes on to win the match 2-0, they will get 10 points as we discussed in of the previous slide. Apart from that, they will get an extra 10 points because they defeated the team which was ranked more than 5 points above them. So this will make a very exciting move because people who are not ahead in ranks, people who want to catch ranks, will probably go for teams who are ranked between 10 to 16 and will try to target such fixtures. So it looks a bit complicated, and I am happy that it looks a bit complicated because everyone will probably not scratch too much of their brains over here. But this is a very, very interesting thing because it doubles the point for you.
Correct. Yeah.
Correct.
And maybe that is the reason why this chip is getting a lot of hate because of the complications that FPL has introduced. Because had it been a straightforward chip, people would have loved and people would have used it here and there. But since your brain is coming into picture, a lot of calculations are going to come into picture. This is, a good chip, I believe.
Yeah.
So, Adi,
The people,
your thoughts on this?
yeah. So the people on top will not like this when the
Absolutely.
bottom rank
Exactly.
people will go past them using this chip. So yeah, absolutely. Everyone has to be mindful about playing this chip and scratch some brains of there and play it very wisely, I would say.
Yes.
Fair
A,
enough.
a, a point that I would like to have our JPL toppers, like Adarsh, whom we had yesterday on our podcast, then Raghav Mittalji and Jitesh, and also Himamshu, they would be extremely buoyant with this ship. That's my feeling because they plan so much in advance. So this is
Correct.
definitely add to their kitty.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
So, so going ahead, uh, now Aditya, every manager who is going to come in into this picture is going to have a price. So
Correct.
can
Yeah.
you can you can you help us through with this that how this is going to affect the regular FPL game?
Okay. So basically, whatever prize you have got in your squad, right? So it's 100 million squad. So
Yeah,
and by then it would be around 104, 105, depending on your transfer activities throughout the season. So managers are coming between 0.5 million to 1.5 million. So highest rank manager would be 1.5 million, and I'm assuming that it would be Slot or
yeah.
Arteta
The
or
top four
Pep,
basically. Yeah,
the top four
yeah,
basically. But they won't give you much points as per the chip scenario concerns, right? So
Right.
yeah.
let's say you bring in Amorim into your team. It would take 0.5 to 0.8, whatever the price going to be for these managers. So it would be coming out of your kitty which you are using from your FPL squad. So you have to be very mindful when you are transferring your players, so that you can have a place in your squad for a manager as well of your liking, of course.
Correct.
So Chang, my next slide will probably give much idea about it. So, like we said, it would be a 16-member squad of yours. So,
Yeah.
you have to pick your players and your manager very wisely. because funds have to be carefully saved for this chip, and it should not happen that you don't have the required budget to bring in a manager who you like if you are transferring in big names. So Haaland probably will be saving a lot of money, right, when you are transferring
Yes,
him
sir.
out. So yeah, you shouldn't keep Haaland by then, and it's
Uh,
probably my personal decisions. But yeah, of course, anyone can plan anything right now to bring in the managers they are liking.
so Aditya, I have a question over here. So
Sure.
does that mean if I want to activate my assistant manager chip, but if I
Mhm.
have point 0.1 in my bank or point 0.4 in my bank, I will not be able to do that, correct?
Correct. Yes, because you might have seen the previous slide, which says the budget
Yeah,
for managers are 0.5 to 1.5, right?
1.5.
So in
Yeah,
that case, you might have to take a hit, -4, make someone out from your squad, a player or two,
yeah.
and then you can bring in the manager you want. So it is not going to be easy to accommodate one extra name being an assistant manager into the team, which is already going up and above 100 million budget. And similarly, in addition to that point, one more catch is there. So you cannot have three players from the same club and again their manager as your assistant manager. So it is going to be very very difficult for people who likes to keep let's say three Arsenal players, three Liverpool players in their squad, and try to bring in Arteta or Slot in their squad. So if you have three players from one certain club, you cannot bring their managers. So it's again an
So
interesting point, and i, I would like to reiterate again that no topper of these FPL leagues will be liking this trip.
Correct.
yes, sir. Your thoughts on this maximum three people per club rule?
So this is crazy and really bad because I was going through the fixtures of Liverpool just now, and
Yeah,
Liverpool are playing Ipswich in 24. Then we travel to Bournemouth away, and after that it is Wolves at home. So you see the fixtures; they are really nice, and then you cannot triple up. So Liverpool also have a double game week pretty much after
yeah.
24. So
Yeah.
considering all these things, and considering us to use this chip in a safer manner. Like I just want to keep the clean sheet points, and rather than doing anything extra by picking up probably a Newcastle manager or probably someone else, if I just stick to a safer option and consider the fixtures of Liverpool, it is going to be very difficult for me because I cannot triple up on Liverpool squad. Assistant manager is going to be there, and at the same time I just have to keep only two players, so probably Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold would be the two players who are going to be in my team apart from the manager Arne Slot. So it is going to be a very difficult task, but if you are having just two Arsenal players, then probably Arteta comes in, and that's where situation gets pretty much balanced out. Otherwise, this is kind of a very difficult chip to have because if you don't have funds, we were talking about the fund problem. So if you don't have funds, so that error message is also going to populate mentioning that funds are not there. So
Correct.
this
Yeah.
is an additional headache to the FPL managers that the budget of 15 players is now getting divided into 16 players. So this is going to be tough because we know the value of point 0.1 even, and now we are talking about 1.5 and 1 because I'm not sure many of the managers are going to risk in for point 0.5 managers because
Yeah.
who is going to fill into that bracket? Probably someone from Southampton, Ipswich, or any lower ranked team. And if you talk about Manchester United, Amorim would be somewhere around 1, 1.1, 1.2. So these are like elite managers, elite coming from elite clubs. So if you want to have these managers, you'll have to make sure that your kitty has some balance. And to have some balance, your squad needs to have some sort of depth, either through uh, either by removing Haaland probably or not having Salah, but then you'll have to make sacrifices to accommodate this. It is going to be difficult, but
So
interesting.
basically, yeah, basically for Haaland and Salah owners, this is going to be an extremely difficult one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Add Palmer and Saka to the gist, and it would be tough to have even point 0.5 assistant managers. in your
Yeah,
team.
then you are left with the Southampton manager only, whosoever is going to be at that time.
But
Correct, correct.
it makes life very very interesting for people who are trying to catch up, because or else people who go and sit at the top, it is pretty easy for them to have the standard general FPL draft and then go as per that. Now even they will
Exactly.
be shaken. So again, it's not that this chip is available for everyone. So people on the top,
Yeah,
even they will be playing this chip. So it's not that the people at sitting at the bottoms will only be able to catch this. But it's an
Right.
exciting chip.
correct,
Yeah,
correct. Yeah, yeah,
So this was the message, error message I was talking about, Sushant. That if
yeah,
you have point 0.5, if you're getting a point 0.5 वाला manager और आपके पास points इतने नहीं है, like if you just have point 0.3 or point 0.4, तो automatically वो message आ जाएगा that funds are not
yeah,
available at all. And in this way, you'll have to make two transfers then. First, of a player who is going to be sacrificed, and second, to accommodate the manager. अब
correct.
सीन कैसा है कि यहाँ पर इट इज गोइंग टू बी ट्रीटेड एज अ रेगुलर ट्रांसफर ओनली सो
yeah.
हाउ डिफिकल्ट इट इज नाउ that whether you focus on a manager or a player, and if unfortunately someone gets injured from your playing 11, then it gets further difficult. So Adi, your thoughts?
Uh, yes, it would be difficult. I don't want to call out names of these players who might get injured. Right, it's a busy period, but मतलब
Yeah.
भगवान ना करे, but if you have these top ranked players like Salah or Haaland or Saka, Palmer, and any one of them gets injured, then it would be really difficult for you because you might have to replace them because it's a
Exactly.
three game week period, right? And bring in the manager. Again, the slide on your screen is saying that once this chip is active, you can also transfer managers.
Correct.
So let's
Yep.
say if you have got a point 0.5 million manager in your first game week after 24th, and you decide to bring out someone else, and that manager is 1 million manager or 1.5 million manager, again you will have to take some hits because it's not a regular transfer. You will have to take some hits to bring in that manager and again replace a existing player. It would be very calculative risk, and I feel this is going to be really brainstorming session for all the FPL managers, especially the ones who are on top, because even if they go safe,
Yeah.
bringing slot in the picture, it is going to be difficult because of the fixtures list they have at that point of time. Because CL will Champions League will be there, Europa League will be there. There are a lot of rotations which are going to take place at that point of time. So, I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's an exciting time to be playing FPL, in my opinion.
Right. Sushant,
Indeed, indeed it is. Uh-huh.
one question came in my mind. So we see a lot of emotions from managers. What if a manager is getting a red card or a yellow card? What happens in that case?
Oh, I'm sure they have not added that in the rule as of now.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they will add those points, and they will add to the misery of someone who has, for example, say a 1.5 million manager, and then he gets a yellow carded or a red carded. That's going
Exactly.
to be a big misery. But another big challenge is every season, most of the time we see that the double game weeks come into picture from 27, 28 game week onwards.
Correct. Yes.
And that's where most of the people they try to keep their bench boost and wildcard chip active, and the triple captain as well. So three chips they already have. Now the misery is going to be once you activate this chip, you cannot play any other chip for those three consecutive game weeks. So this is
Oh.
going to drag even further and make things even complicated. That
Exactly.
Yep. Yep.
because say for example, Liverpool has a postponed game of Everton in hand. If Liverpool plays a double game week fixture, and that's the time when you think of activating this assistant manager chip, instead of three, you are going to have four matches. So
Correct.
whether you want to triple captain a Salah, or you want to play assistant manager chip, or you want to do a bench boost, this is going to put everything in a bucket.
Now,
This
yeah,
is one part.
that now coming to this point, this clubbing is going to be very difficult because I believe only one chip can be played one time. So if you are using
Absolutely.
assistant manager chip and you're trying to use that in double game week for Liverpool, so your triple captain gets wasted for the ones who didn't use it in game week 9 for Haaland against Southampton. So it is going to be very difficult whether you are targeting the double game week for Salah or you are targeting double game week for Arne Slot. Oh man.
Correct. Correct.
Absolutely.
Correct. Correct.
Only
Just one
time will
more
reveal.
point.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
just one more point here. Uh, you have seen probably these managers taking a piss out of all the FPL players, right? FPL managers, right? When they make their favorite players sit out on the bench. So, like Pep Guardiola does a lot of rotation at that point of time when the fixtures are very tough and coming in fast, thick and fast. So let's say you are playing Haaland in your this cheap when you are using this assistant manager, and Pep decides to go south all of a sudden and make him sit on the bench. Like he likes to do that, right?
Yeah,
And even Arne Slot have to do that because of fixture congestion and having no
exactly.
proper replacement. So make Salah on the bench and making him as a substitute coming into your team. So it would be really challenging, and I am sure that all these players, the real Premier League players and the managers, are knowing about this FPL, and they, I don't know, consciously or subconsciously, they take decisions based on this, right? Or which affect FPL in a way, directly
it
or
does.
indirectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be a really difficult thing. Uh, I would say they would like to throw us out of the picture, or out of the blue they will be benching someone or the else. So it's going to be really difficult for FPL managers to activate this chip along with your fixtures, along with your triple captains and
Yeah,
bench boost chips. Yeah.
That leaves me with a question to both of you.
Hmm.
We get one free transfer every game week in FPL.
yeah.
Correct.
Now, once you activate this chip, will you take a manager and probably stick with him, especially if he loses the first fixture for 3 game weeks, or you would use the transfer on a manager, or you would go ahead and transfer a manager as well as a player for -4? I'll start with Yashaswa first.
See, it is going to be a very crazy decision for everyone, not just me or for like I mean the top ranked players, because a lot of permutations, combinations are being discussed right now, and these will come
Yeah.
later on as well. So there
Yeah.
is a reason why they called it a mystery chip. It is going to keep you in
Yeah.
mystery for the entire game week until the time this chip is activated for the 3 weeks, because if you go for the manager and the manager doesn't perform, I mean the team doesn't perform, you are left with 2 game weeks. So now the jeopardy is whether you stick with the manager or you don't, because there are certain juicy
Yeah.
fixtures that are planned up for other team. So do
Yep.
you have the funds for those? If you have funds, are you going for the manager or are you going for the player? So a lot of questions
Yes.
are there. It will be
Correct.
dependent on how your planning is, how much you are thinking about the game, how and how you bring in clarity into while going into these game weeks. Because if you are planning to use your chip in game week 24, you got to stick with your uh, plan, because we have
Yeah.
seen people who are doing really good in FPL this season because they've stuck to their plan. They have been confident enough that whatever they are doing, they are backing their plans, their transfers, their team. So maybe key to success is sticking to the plan, staying confident, and having clarity.
Correct.
Aditya,
Correct.
your
Agree.
thoughts?
Yes, and since there are a lot of emotions involved, I would say that FPL managers would probably be happy to sack someone, sack these assistant managers from their team after not performing well for the first game week. It would be very difficult, to accommodate these transfers, and with the budget constraints and with the lot of rotation that these games are coming with. So yeah, I mean, I would probably be
Actually,
changing three
Aditya, they
managers.
they they have shared a rule just in case if the manager gets sacked, the team will still continue to get the points that the team is getting on the pitch. Whoever is the manager of that team, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So the manager doesn't get the points in that case.
The manager does. Once you bring in a manager in your club and the manager gets sacked, until and unless if you decide to keep the same manager in your team for 3 game weeks, then even if he is gone, whatever points the team gets, that the main Premier League team gets, the manager will keep on getting the same points as well.
All right, all right. So I believe that answers to my earlier question, that if manager gets a red card, then in that case, probably he'll be getting the clean sheet points for the next game, as well as the goal scored by the team. Okay,
Yep. Yep.
fair enough. Fair enough.
So now, the most important thing, the last slide that we have. is a data slide.
Mm, correct.
And uh, Aditya said something very, very interesting thing that people would probably go the safest route,
Yeah.
but the slide might just surprise you.
Yes.
Look at the manager. If we look at this 2024-2025 season, look at the manager who has given the maximum number of points if you have taken them for three consecutive game weeks.
My God.
So Arteta is ranked fifth, Liverpool is ranked ninth, and Manchester City is not there at all in the top 11.
United is also not there.
Yeah, they were ranked at 13, 14. But yeah,
Correct.
Irola has given 47 points at a maximum. But again, this is all the permutations considering that you bought them at the right time.
Correct.
So
Correct.
again, that's a combination. But this is the reason again why it is important to look at the fixtures and probably look for those extra 10 points and challenging a team which is at least five places above you in the table.
Correct. Correct. And one thing I would like to add here is जब 24th के बाद there are lot of fixtures which top teams are going to play, so it's high probability that they will certainly lose or draw a game which comes in after 24th game week, right? So
Yeah,
it's probably a good idea to have someone from a lower ranked club as an assistant manager of your team and play them, because if they are playing, let's say, a certain team, a Bournemouth is playing against Liverpool or City or Arsenal in those three game weeks, there is a high chance that these top three teams are going to have a lot of fixtures, like three fixtures in a week, right? In 9 days or 10 days, because fixtures
yep,
will come in thick and fast, right? So if you play these assistant managers from the bottom clubs, you might probably get these extra points because there will be a lot of chopping from the big clubs.
yep,
They might
yep,
probably, as I said, they might probably sit out Haaland or Kevin De Bruyne or Salah or Palmer or Saka, right? So the chances of them going for a draw or losing the game to a lower ranked club is much higher. And I
yeah.
am pointing this thing just to confuse all the FPL managers so that they can jumble up in the things, because it's going to
Uh,
be really difficult again.
Right. So, Sushant, one question to you, since you've been playing TVT for a long time now. Um, Say this is another chip which is
yeah,
giving you added points of a
yeah,
manager. Earlier we were getting points of 11 people, now we are getting points of 12 people. So, in
yeah.
that case, how crucial this chip becomes in TVT playoffs basically?
It becomes an extremely crucial chips. And more or less, if you have, because TBT is a game where chips are bundled between two players. So if you have both your triple captain and bench boost in hand, and then you have this, basically you are covering 10 game weeks there, and you have just eight
Exactly.
game weeks in the playoff. So uh, it is
It just
for
struck my mind.
it is going to be an amazing. I'm sure we are going to get a lot of questions over there, but this is just another FPL chip. How smartly someone uses it, it's up to them. Uh, they have not announced anything like a captain. I just hope that the manager cannot be made a captain in a game week, because then that will take the craziness to next level.
Nice.
Yes. No, this
Nice,
is
nice.
nice. Uh, there are
I
good
want to
reviews. There
see.
are bad reviews. Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to
correct.
see
Correct.
how
Sorry.
this chips. Sorry, I want to see how this chips pans out in TVT kind of scenario, because there are two people, like four people involved in a
Yep.
game week, right? Two versus two, and all four of them will be having this assistant manager for three game weeks in a row. So
That's the catch.
that would be
The
amazing.
mo- the most interesting fun, Aditya and Yashasva, it would be we have overall 32 teams, 16 teams in each group. Two teams get eliminated at the end of round 30. So they are
Yeah,
not going to wait for the playoffs. Or else
exactly.
then the 14 teams which are going to qualify for the playoff, out of them top 8 get an advantage, and 9 to 14 they go through but they don't get an advantage. So the teams
Right.
which are ranked between 9 to 14, even they would like to play the chip to get an advantage into top 8.
Exactly.
So this chip is not just a playoff chip for someone who is ranked between 9 to 16. So probably FPL has made the game interesting for TVT players as well.
Also, now the situation is in terms of TVT, if you have activated the chip, this mystery chip in Game Week 31, so you cannot use triple captain till 34th. That means you are
Yep.
stuck
Correct.
somewhere in eliminators or probably challengers.
Yeah.
It is going to be crazy, and I know that it is going to be very stupid decision, and that
I'll
we
I'll
are going to take.
I'll I'll confuse it even further. I'll contemplate what you said. If you have activated the assistant manager chip, you cannot, but your partner can,
Right. Yeah.
and he can be the captain.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you can have an assistant manager as well as a bench with chip active.
Yeah. Correct. Correct.
This is
Correct.
going to be
So
amazing. And
yeah.
yeah,
Before we wrap up, Sushank, I wanted to ask both of you. 20 teams are there. What kind of a manager you are going to pick in? You are going to bring in. I'll start with Aditya first.
Okay. As of now, as I said last time also, to just to confuse everyone, I would pick somewhere between 15 to 20th ranked team, because at that point of time they will be trying to save their spots, right, in the Premier League.
yeah,
They don't want to get further downgraded their spots. So I would probably go. Let's say Leicester is there after rank 12th or 13th or 15th, right? They
yeah, yeah,
don't want to get relegated, and they have got some good managers now, Ruben Nestora. So I would probably bank on them. That can be a risk, of course, but at that point of time, fixtures coming in, thick and fast. I would probably take a hit on Leicester manager and see if Leicester can beat even one team which is ranked above them. They can get me an additional point. Then it would be a chip well played, right?
yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct.
You get 10 points if you get beat a team with a gap of five teams between
Correct,
them. You get
correct.
additional 10 points, which is as good as
Shooting.
probably a 2-0 win. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
What about you, Sushant?
See, this right now we are sitting into game week 16. Game week 16 is going to start day after tomorrow, and this chip gets activated only after game week 24. So, if you ask me honestly, right now I would like to target a team which is somewhere between 11 to 16. But if I jump ranks in the next 8 game weeks, and I feel I'm in top 10 in JPL, and I don't have that many points to carry, I'll probably not play a high risk game. So, depending
Okay.
on where I am placed, right, my chip will vary on that, because I don't want to. If I want to catch up points, I might go for a 11 to 16 manager, and if it doesn't work out, I might use a free transfer over there. So there are a lot of permutation and combination. Right now, if we start with the pen and paper, probably the combinations will go down to more than 500, 600. But as each game week goes through, the number of options will come down, and things will probably get shortlisted. So honestly, I we have spoken on this mystery chip. I'm not even going to think or plan about a mystery chip until game week 24 to see where I'm ranked on the table.
Okay. Okay.
Agree.
Fair enough.
What
How
about
about you,
you, Yes
Yashaswar?
Bhai?
I'll go the safest route for now because see, it's okay to have some baby steps and reach your destination rather than jumping around and asking yourself why I did that. I'm already regretting a lot of decisions in FPL this year because of certain player. I don't want to go another regret and say that yes, now I picked up a Bournemouth manager who was ranked really nice earlier. He starts performing bad because he's facing Liverpool. He's not getting clean sheets, so those 6 points are gone as well. The
Yeah,
winning points are gone as well. So I'm at the end of the match, I'm getting like 1 or 2 points. So what's the point of taking such type of risk? And rather than taking such risk, I believe a safest route would be a better option for me.
absolutely. Because if you take a manager and he
Yes.
loses all the 3 matches, you'll end up with 0 points. That's for
Exactly,
sure.
that is the problem.
Correct, correct.
Yes.
Do you go in minus if they lose 3 games in a row and
Not, not,
concede like
not, not
two,
as of
three
now.
goal extra? No, right?
No, no, no minus points as
Only
of
only
now.
if it takes a yellow,
I'm just
probably a
confusing.
red, maybe
I'm
then.
just
Yeah,
confusing. I'm just playing with their minds. FPL managers' minds.
yes, yes. And it will be very, very interesting. The Today we were happy enough to have Adi's thoughts on board. It will be very interesting every game week when we get these winners and their winning mentalities on board to hear what they say, what they are planning, and what their ideas are.
Correct. Yeah.
Correct, correct. Yeah,
So
yeah,
before
definitely.
we wrap up, Aditya, would you like to share anything about how Sports Potatoes is going? Whether what's the
Uh,
plan for next collaboration?
Sports Potatoes is currently having a pause right now. because of the availability of their admins like me or my partner. And I would like to revive it as much as everyone wants, right? So probably next week I would be inviting both of you for a podcast to discuss on the ongoing BGT, right? Border Gavaskar Trophy. Uh,
Okay.
Else we can connect on FPL, whatever it is. But I
Yeah.
want to revive it as much as everyone wants, and let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Fair enough. So this was our segment related to the mystery chip, assistant manager chip, wherein we covered all the possibilities, we covered the edge case scenarios as well, and we hope that with time things calm down a bit, and this complexity of this chip basically reduces to a level where people will be able to bring in certain managers whom they can bank on. And it was nice having sports potatoes on our podcast today, and we hope to collaborate with
Thank
them
you.
in near time. So keep watching. Also, let us know how you are feeling about this newly introduced mystery chip, and flood our comments with everything and anything. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.